Hi everyone, welcome to this video. This video is very special to me. I just want to let you know what my findings are from this last experiment I did this last year. I'm vegetarian. Um, it's very important to me to know where my food is coming from, as I'm very connected to nature. I try to teach people about that concept and create community gardens, and I've done that the last year. I'm very proud of myself for that, but it's not easy. It's not an easy path unless you are willing to really connect with nature and understand your responsibility. We need to be responsible in knowing where our food is coming from and being respectful and grateful for those resources, because we need, protein and fat and all these minerals from different sources to keep us alive, not just survive but thrive, right? And as a vegetarian, it's something that I really wanted to grow a garden that I could feed myself and raise an animal that could give me protein in a reciprocal way, in a way that, I take care of them, they take care of me. And this animal that I'm raising, I have 5 of them, and they are so beautiful. I love looking at them and seeing how they live their lives, and they're very simple. They love to just explore and find different foods as they explore nature, very similar to what I like to do, foraging. They forage a lot, and I like to forage a lot. And these animals, they are very bright, active. They like to play. I love seeing children interact with them because I'm a teacher. I also have kids in my family, and when they come and they see them, they have such a good time because they're so playful with them. And this animal, it can give you infinite food for your entire life. You can use this food source to feed yourself and feed others, and use that food source to trade with other people. It's basically like money. You can, oh, you have these vegetables, let me give you this food source, and you can give me those vegetables. Or I can sell you these for $5, $10, and I can accumulate money that can continue to help me feed myself and invest more in my land, in which I can plant more, in which I can have different animals if I so wish. And yes, if you have guessed it, I'm gonna let you know that it's chickens. Chickens are the source of this blessing that I have in my life, because I feel so blessed to have tried to do it, and in a way that was, you know, in an experiment, but at the same time trying to take really good care of the chickens in a very low maintenance way. It was very important to me to be low maintenance because, there's only so much time we have as young adults who work 9 to 5. Like myself, I need time, and I do a lot of things. So I wanted an animal that would be very low maintenance. And because I've been studying permaculture and gardening, I knew that I wanted to do both at the same time. So I wanted to raise chickens at the same time and build a garden at the same time. And I built 2 gardens at the same time. So my own garden in my own piece of land, in my own backyard, and then a community garden a few blocks from my house. All those 3 things are very important to me, and I did all 3 of them at the same time, and it was a lot of work. Yes, but very grateful for everything, because in permaculture concept, you plant things that are going to grow on their own and take care of themselves because you're planting different things together. And the chicken just incorporate into the process. The chickens, you feed them whatever you don't eat from the garden, like the weeds, you give it to the chickens, they eat that, and then the chickens give you the compost from their poop, and they also help you compost other things. So you give them all this material like leaves, weed, ashes, all in a pile, and the chickens are gonna go in there and they're gonna search for food among the material, the biological material, the organic material. Just gonna go in there and they're just gonna look for food, and they're gonna eat what they can, and then they're going to produce more compost for you, and then it can bring it back to the garden. So everybody knows that, but not a lot of people are actually doing it. A lot of people have gardens, but they do not have chickens. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have a garden, you should have a chickens next month. I cannot tell you tomorrow, but you should prepare yourself, plan so you can have chickens in the next month, because it's one of the best blessings, especially if you are already a gardener. And if you are not a gardener, but you have some piece of land, you should 100% consider raising chickens because they can eat all of your food scraps or most of your food scraps, which feels like if you are wasting food, which you really should try not to waste food, but if you are wasting some food, you give it to the chickens and they're not wasting it at all. They're gonna eat whatever they can, and whatever they do not eat is gonna become compost in the pile of compost that you keep the compost next to the chickens anyway, because there's a way to keep them entertained, a way to keep them extra food, and they just help you to decompose that pile of compost for you. So it makes sense, people. Please, if you have a garden, if you have a community garden, especially, people, go ahead and buy the chicken coop or work to get one, and go ahead and buy your chickens or raise your chicks like I did. I raised my five chicks on my own, and that's what they grew with me, and now they are like about 8 months old. Right now in the winter in New Jersey, it's very cold right now, so I want to show you what I've done in my backyard to take care of my chickens, how they give me food for the infinite. Like, I will continue to have chickens for as long as I can have chickens. I will have them, and they will continue to give me food and something that I can trade to get all the resources that I might need. So let me show you what I did. Hello, my girls. So beautiful. It's winter in New Jersey, zone 6. These are my chickens. That's what they like to do. They like to forage. Even during the winter, it's very windy today. And I want to show you my setup. The one was purchased from Walmart. This is an insulation film that was donated to me by one of my great neighbors. This is where they sleep, the chicken coop. Exactly as it was purchased. I just put on these doors. Like that. This is where they can walk if they like to, but they usually never stay in this area. They just go into sleep from that little entrance over there. That's where they sleep. This is where this is where I collect my eggs. This is where they sleep. The 5 of them, they all perch on this little piece of wood. And that's it. They lay the eggs right here. I already collected the eggs. I had 4 eggs collect today. Every 2 days I get 5 to 6 eggs now during the winter. So they got 4. This is their feed bucket. This is their waterer. Heated waterer. I have 5 chickens. They're all different breeds, and they all seem very content. Even though it's cold and it's windy, they like to go out anytime I open the gate. I don't open as often because, as you can imagine, we are concerned about animals coming to try to catch our chickens. So what I do is every now and then during the day when I'm at home, I open this gate to let them go out and graze on the grass. That is, you can see the grass is dry, but it's still some greenery, and they eat some of the dry ones. I see them eat both green and dry, just like hay. Just like horses eat hay and cows eat hay, they also eat dry hay. But they also eat the green grass, and they really love all the greenery. I have clover and grass in my backyard for them. They love coming out here into the leaf mulch. Every time I basically don't blow leaves. I don't do that. I just sort of rake the leaves into my fence. Is where I planted raspberries and a couple fruit trees, saplings, and I keep on doing this leaf mulch, and that's where they come to dig in, and they find all kinds of grubs that they love. So it's a very sustainable, easygoing way for chickens to be happy. They like the deep mulch, so they can really scavenger through all this mulch. And of course, when the spring comes, this deep mulch is going to benefit all the plants that are going to grow here. All these raspberries and some other saplings that are planted here. So it's a very simple setup. I think, believe it or not, this scoop was free because I volunteered at a farm and they had this there, and they were not using. They're supposed to use it for rabbits, and they decided not to use it. They are using something else. So I asked them if I would work for them for a full day, they would give it to me. So basically, I worked for the trade of this coop, and they gave it to me, and that's where I raised the chickens when they were babies, when they were like 1 month old outside, and then I bought this run for them, and they've been living here since. This was uncovered during the summer. They only had that tarp at the back, but they didn't have this clear tarp because I wanted them to have a lot of wind for them to stay fresh and cooled during the summer, cool. But now it's winter, so I decided to put a tarp to avoid snow and rain and wind chills. You just need to protect them from the wind, and that's all really you need to do. That's the water, it's heated, so the water never freezes, and I just refill when needed. And sometimes, as you can see, this little container here is some apple cider vinegar water, like a few drops of apple cider vinegar in the water, because as I was researching, a lot of people said it's good for their gut health. So I just give it to them, and sometimes they drink on it, sometimes they don't drink it right away, so they're not thirsty by any means right now, they're just foraging non-stop. They're very happy, and I would love to just leave them outside, but I got scared about the animals, so I would love for them to just be free like this. But this run is very big, it's 10 by 12, so they have plenty of space to walk around and play, and I throw them treats, little grubs for them to just scavenge under these leaves, which, as you can see, my deep mulch that I use in the run is to protect their feet from the harsh cold soil. So the leaves are from the backyard or my neighbor's backyards. I got their leaves bags and I dropped it in here. Their coop is the same, as you can see, where they sleep. They poop in here. All I do is just like throw backyard leaves, and before the backyard leaves during the summer, this area I had shredded paper, so it's another sustainable way to use shredded paper. You just throw it in your coop for the chickens to nest in, and that's how they're laying their eggs, right on top of the shredded paper. And I'll just add more on every time they poop here while they're sleeping. So every time I come here to get eggs, what I do, I throw some of these backyard leaves in there, and it's called the deep mulching technique, in which I don't take the poop out, I just cover it, keep on covering it, and the mulch, as it decomposes, it creates heat, which helps them stay, the scoop stay warmer. And as you can see, I have a thermometer here. Let me show it to you guys. This is my thermometer. It's 41 right now inside the scoop, but outside right now it's 34. It's 34 outside, and this is empty, just the how it stays, how warm it stays. But basically what happens is the compost will keep that area heated, and when the chickens go in, it's gonna be even warmer because they all huddle together and they keep each other much warmer during the night. And I had these chickens from the spring, that's when I raised them, so they're not even 1 year old yet, and they're doing just great. As you can see, it's very windy, but they're happy to just forage outside. They never go inside the coop really during the day. They stay out most of the day really, and it's just a great thing to see because they just love to be walking around and foraging. So I just want to show it to you guys that how the chickens live during the winter. They're just very, very happy. They seem healthy, they're growing big and fat, strong. I only grow them for eggs, non-fertilized eggs. These chickens has never been introduced to roosters, so they just keep on laying eggs every single day, and they're non-fertilized. So I feel really happy about that. I can consume a gift from them without feeling that I'm about to eat another live animal, because the egg's never gonna turn into another animal anyway. So this is how I keep it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do what you need to do to support yourself and your family. I think chickens are a great addition to a family, to any person who has a backyard, and you can create any different um, any setup that works for you, because chickens are very happy when they're well fed and when they have place to forage. But it doesn't have to be as big as mine. It can be smaller, or if you have a lot of space, you can create whatever space works for you. But I just love my chickens. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and this is it. I love my chickens. I love taking care of them. I think it's fantastic. I don't know many people who do this, especially young folks like myself. So I hope that you feel inspired and you feel like you learned something, that you can do it, because this is my first year doing this out here in the US. Because my family Brazil, we grew chickens, but it's very warm there, and my family kept them in a very small little coop. They never left them out of the yard or anything like that. I just felt gave them scraps, food scraps, and they keep on laying eggs, and they were happy. And every now and then we let them out to scavenge their yard, but not much. So they just lived in the coop, and we were fed food scraps most times. Here, what I'm trying to do a little bit different is give them a lot more space for them to forage and keep them protected from the winds, because in the winter that's what they really need. Otherwise, they're really cold hardy, as you can see. You keep them the water, the heated water, because it doesn't freeze the water. The water does not freeze in one of them, but you can always just give them warm water once a day, and that's all they need in a little bowl. And you go about your day, you keep on moving, and you can do that every day. Or you get a waterer. It was $40 from Amazon. I think it was a great investment for me and my family. If you don't have the $40, maybe you can work for someone and get those $40. Or maybe just work for somebody, letting them know that exactly what you need and they can buy it for you. It's just there are different ways to get what you want without having to spend money. Okay, so think about that as well. And yeah, keep on doing what you do, because I think that's the best way for us to take care of ourselves, to be more connected to nature. And that's what I'm trying to do here, be connected to the animals that I really love. I take good care of them, and they take good care of me. They give me gifts back, and I like that reciprocal relationship. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You please support me if you can, give it a thumbs up, and do what's best for you. Have a great day.